Yo, what is up? We're testing out the Beta 18 bikes. I've just loaded the game. I haven't rode the bike. I haven't done anything. I load in the game, load onto the track Lommel, and that's it. I have not touched anything else. We're gonna go to the garage here. We're gonna look at the bike. It's already got tires put on, and there's separate tires for sand. Right. I don't know how it. All right. I have no idea what to do here. Cause so what we did before is we rode the Beta 17s with the stock tires, and then we put tires on it. We put the 120s on. But they're the front tires. So we've already got the 120s on here, but the sand tires as well. Right. So I think what we will probably do is we'll skip using stock tires. We'll use the mid soft, and then we'll use the sand tires. Besides that, we're going to leave the bike completely stock. There are a lot of things that have changed. For example, the suspensions have changed since the Beta 17 bikes. Now we have only got the 4 strokes right now. The 2 strokes I think comes out in February, but that'll be alright. Um, the gears, I don't know what's changed here. It's all in kilometers now. It should be in miles per hour. I forgot to change that. The mapping, I don't know what the mapping means. Neither is 2020 and 2021. Before we had like low, mid, aggressive, or like white, green, whatever. But anything, I'm gonna leave everything stock. These tires were already on when I loaded the game. I did not put these tires on. We're just gonna go into the track. We're gonna ride. And wait, hang on. I'm not crazy, am I? The bike sounds completely different. That, I don't want to lie, that I hate that sound. But that sound, especially this little ticker noise, like this noise here. I'll just stay quiet for a second and just let you listen to the bike. Yeah, that sounds horrible. Also, I need to change something. I just need to pull over right now. I need to change the seat again. I like my seat all the way back, then you put it all the way up, put it down a little bit. There we go, that's my seating position I prefer. I mean, anyway, let's try and get off the sound. Let's try and focus a bit more on the feel of the bike. We'll just do about a lap or two of Lommel with these tyres on, then we'll put the sand tyres on. This is a fully sand track, so the sand tyres should perform a little bit better. We've just spun out. But we should. It's also going to be the suspension that should feel a lot different, and just the general bike overall should feel different. Okie dokie, we're off the, whoa, okay, we're wobbling left and right. So I'm probably just going to just be quite quiet, just try to like actually like focus a bit more, just because I need to like really try and get a feel for the bike. Already, I will say, this could be placebo and stuff, playing into it. Already it feels a lot better. It feels, oh, we did just spin out there. Already suspension feels a little bit better. We can probably play a more of a nationals track rather than a GP track, so we can get like some much larger jumps and you'll probably get a better feel of it. Play a bit of supercross with the whoops and stuff. Then again, supercross you tend to have more of a hard suspension, so and this suspension tends to be built more softer. It's built more for nationals, so I think I really don't like the sound of this bike. I like the like passive like what am I trying to say? Like the noise when you're revving up. Like hang on, this noise here. That's nice. Okay, that sounds alright. It's this noise here. When I let go of the throttle, and it's like that ticking over noise. It sounds really like cheap. But now the bike feels a lot better. Again, could be just placebo. The tyres feel a little bit better, but But again, I haven't really done much up to now to really test that. It doesn't feel like amazingly different. Just a very slight difference. I am flipping the bike here. Brilliant. Now I think a person who's much better at the game can probably showcase a lot of the pros, like a lot of the a lot of the improvements and the difference. Where I am not good at the game, not to that anywhere near the level of some other people who can really put down a hot lap of this track. And I feel like this is probably one of I'm not sure, maybe a more flat track might actually be better, since this track is very bumpy, and if you're testing the tyres, you really want the track to be a bit more flat than bumpy, if you like only want to just strictly test the tyres. Already I will say is that, right, so we'll change the sand tyres now. Already I will say in that corner when I came out of it, that the bike flipped instead of spinning out, which last time it just spun out. And I actually said if this was like old traction, like or it was on dirt or something, it would just flip, it wouldn't spin out. So now we have sand tires on. Okie dokie. Now we have sand tires on. We should realistically be a lot more grippier. And up to now, just in that one corner going on straight, feels slightly better. It did start to slide out and then it got its grip there. Now, you are I won't swear. I'm gonna try not to swear in this video. Now you are going to slide a bit. It is sand at the end of the day. But it should not feel like you're riding on ice. And that's kind of how it felt before. I'm sorry, the reason I keep going quiet is because I'm just listening to the bike. It's just, I'll admit the sound is kind of growing on us. I'm kind of liking it. I just really hate this noise here. That like ticking over noise. It's such a horrible noise, man. I don't know what the fuck the ground is outside, but I am sliding whenever I touch it. It's like riding on asphalt. Especially if you go on like the supercross tracks when you start in the bay. And some of the aerial tracks. You start in like a parking lot. It is horrible. Oh. Jump way off to the side though. But I don't have too much to say right now. I'll say the suspension feels miles better, like the bike feels better. Feels more planted to the ground. And that's good. The fact I keep flipping the bike isn't good for me. That has nothing to do with the bike. That's more of me. I suppose you could say it's a bit more of the tyres as well. Because the fact that I'm able to flip the bike very easily shows that the tyres are actually gripping the ground. I just cased that little roller. And before, the bike used to wheel spin like fuck. A good track that I'll probably end up riding is Han Herod. I'll probably just try out that track, which is another track I've done a video on. And I really enjoyed that track. And I thought that that track wasn't too slippy, considering it was an all sand track. But I'm definitely going to experiment. I'm definitely going to experiment a lot more with all the other bikes and a lot of the sand tracks. Because this is something I've been waiting for. Everyone has. We've all been waiting so long for the new OEMs. So the fact they're finally here now, I don't know how they're gonna work. Because I know Supercross actually starts today as well, or at least one of the testing starts today, which is people's practice time. So I don't know how it's going to work. Like, are half the people going... They can't. The whole server has to be riding the same bike type, doesn't it? The whole server has to be rather riding 17s or 18s, don't they? Because I'm pretty sure the person who hosts the server actually has to have the version of the bike sort of thing. I don't know how to explain that. So, I don't know. Is it going to be rode in beta 17s or 18s? It would kind of make more sense to be 17s, but then it's like the actual race is going to be more. Will probably be for 18s, like the actual event, because this is just a tester. So, I think what probably is best is if they delayed it till tomorrow to Saturday. I don't think that'll happen. I'm not sure. They might have already said what they're going to change. But yeah, riding this new bike, the sound obviously sounds different. I think another track I'll probably play is the GS7 Compound, not the Alive version, but that is a all sand track. It's a track that I probably have rode the most since it is was my favourite. It's not really so much anymore because it's a bit too simple and a bit too plain for me. So, but that is a track that I do know quite well. I know, so that's probably the track I'll probably feel the most different. And it's probably where I should have done this. However, I've already done the 17 video for this track. I did that last night. That is uploading as I'm recording this. These two videos should go out relatively close together. I'll be honest, the video that I recorded, well, I say last night, it was like 1 in the morning. With the beta 17s, that should have actually came out today already. But kind of messed up the upload, so I'm gonna probably finish this lap. We'll have a bit more look in the suspension and really try to see what like the biggest differences are. It feels more. It feels nicer. It feels like it's actually soaking up a lot of the jumps, and I'm not just bouncing off them. It feels a lot more stuck to the ground. It feels like there's a bit more downforce. And I can't tell if like the reason feel like I'm like gripping a lot more on the ground is down to the fact that there is a bit more downforce, or if it's down to the tires. What might have been good is to put the beta 18 tires onto the beta 17 bikes and then ride them, and then you'll really get to see what the difference between the tires, like this tires, are, and then ride the beta 18s. But I can't bother to do that, man. I just want to ride the beta 18s. I want to ride them all, see how they all feel. Like, who's gonna? There'll probably be a few people who'll do that, put the 18 tires on the 17s just to see how it feels. But I'm pretty sure you should be able to do that. The tires are separate mods, so. But this does feel nice. It feels. I don't know how. It's very hard to. Okie dokie. It's very hard to describe how a game feels. But that's kind of the best I can do. It feels like I'm actually stuck to the ground a bit more, and I'm not bouncing around. It feels like it's soaking up a lot of the rollers, a lot of the bumps, because all sand tracks are very bumpy and you tend to bounce around a bit. And obviously I am bouncing around still. However, the bike feels like it is soaking up a lot of it. But again, you have to put down some of it to probably placebo. I've been waiting for this bike for quite a while, so been expecting like a massive difference, because that's how it's been sounding. You know, it's been sounding like the new bikes, the new OEMs will make a massive difference. And I don't know if it's just placebo playing into it, you know, because I kind of did want it to make a huge difference, and it feels like it is. how much of it's going down placebo? Because I'm sure some of it will be. If not, then yeah, good job. The new OEMs feel great. But then again, I've only rode it. This is my first time riding them, and it's only on this one track. If I go ride another track, I might feel worse. I highly doubt it. There should never be an update that feels worse. But it's been known to happen, so not, not so much in this game. But I think this is where we'll call the video. The new OEMs feel good. The only annoying part is I'm gonna have to re-download. Well, not re-download. I'm gonna have to download a lot of new skins for the bikes. However, I don't mind that too much. You know, I still get everything else, still keeping tracks. You know, it's literally just the bikes, so I don't mind too much. It's just bike skins overall. You know, if I want a Honda skin, I'd quickly go on and look for a Honda skin or find one. And there's some people out there who create some great skins for the gun, for the gun. Who create some great skins for the bikes. I have no idea where gun came from. I've been playing some other games, some FPSs, so I suppose that's where. But I would say that's probably the only downside up to now that I've really seen. The sand tyres, this is something I should mention, the sand tyres and the other tyres that I just had on, I don't feel any difference in them. Because I completely forgot about that. I completely forgot that we actually have sand tyres right now. I don't feel any difference at all. It feels kind of the same. I mean, I suppose I'm probably not going to feel like a huge difference. And if I rode longer, because I only did about a lap or two with the other tyres, if I probably did about 20 laps with them tyres on this track and then put the sand tyres on, I'd probably feel a lot bigger difference. I'm not really focused on riding right now, I'm kind of just trying to think. So the sand tyres don't really make much of a difference, plus we've only just put the 120s on and the 80s, I believe, on the front. Maybe some other tyres might work better, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of testing that needs to be done. But isn't that the joy when we get new things? Some people enjoy it. I personally love it. I love seeing if new things come out. I love seeing the benefits to them. I love seeing like the difference. It's always fun, man, because the game gets boring if it's just the same thing all the time. I'm sure the stock suspensions, the change in that won't make a difference to the people who know how to set suspensions, but to people like me who don't really know how to set suspensions and don't get given any, the stock suspensions make a massive difference, and they feel different. They feel a lot more softer, and honestly, I can't think of any complaints up to now, except for obviously I have to re-download all the skins. Now, there is different mappings, there's different, we've got, when it comes to redisc, before you only used to have the front leverage and it's between 18 and 20. Now you have 16mm and you have a 220 and 240 redisc brake. There's not too much difference besides the suspension. Now I don't know what the old suspension was, but I do believe these have been turned like all the way up, like there's more clicks. I don't know about the gears. In here I don't know what's much different. I believe the forks might be slightly different. I believe this was like 18 before. It doesn't even go down to 18. Kind of. I'm pretty sure this was on 2. The mapping I don't really understand. We'll have to look more into that. But overall, yeah, that's the new bikes. They sound a lot different. A lot of people might like that, a lot of people might dislike that. But if you don't like it, there'll be some sound mods out there that you can probably find one you like. If not, play without sound. But I look forward to seeing other people test these bikes. I look forward to really someone going in depth to all the differences made in really picking apart the bikes. However, for today, or at least for this video, that'll be me. I'm probably going to ride a bunch of different tracks and really test these bikes out. I may record another video. Depends how I feel. Right now I just kind of want to ride. But for this video, that is me done. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.